Act 1, The Wayfarer's Inn. Hiya, Innkeep. How's it going? All nice and dandy? Can't complain. How about you, Fable? All nice and dandy? Yes, all nice and dandy. I had such an exciting day. Really, really exciting. Did you go on an adventure? Even better, I took a walk around the grove. Then I replanted a mushroom that had fallen over. Then I patiently waited for it to turn into a mushroom monster or a mushroom mimic. Maybe a gnome? Did it? No, but I got to take another walk around the grove. How was it? Great. I got to see the same stones, the same trees, the same amaranthine hydra guarding the entrance to Avalon, the same moss. Sounds very exciting. Who am I kidding? My life is as exciting as a dried nut. Nuts are healthy, very thrilling in sauces or as a snack. There are various nut types: walnuts, peanuts, pecan nuts. I'm allergic. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, no worries. I mean, I never told you. I just wish something would happen in my life. Something riveting. So what you're saying is that you're missing the spice. Oh, no. I have a very sensitive stomach. I don't think chilies would help me much. I was talking about the spice in your life. Ooh, that's what you meant. Well, yes. Yes, exactly. That's it. There's no chili flakes, no garlic, no nymphs, no dragons. Just a lot of salt. I'm like a bland soup. A classic case of boredom, I see. Do you know that feeling when nothing exciting is going on in your life? Like, life isn't bad, but also not particularly funny. Have you tried adding some zest to your soup? Huh? Drama, buzz, excitement, something fiery. Go to the theater or a gala. Arrive in a hot air balloon. Hot air balloon? Don't they fly up really high? Yes, I think that's the point. I'm afraid of heights and of people and of actors. But apart from that, I'm trying. I tried singing, but what is singing if not the telling of a tale? How can I sing of things if I never lived through anything? Day in, day out, I live in the same green soup of routines. Sure, I have my forest and I look after it, but I want to get out there and see something. Like, for example, saving people, wandering through the marshes, meeting a pretty nymph. That sounds like the opening to a grand adventure. Oh, really? You think so? Well, perhaps it would be. Not that it would actually occur, because all I do is sit around and wish for things to happen. I don't even know what nymphs do. I've never met one. Taxes? Maybe? No, I don't think so. I would love to sing about the exciting, magical things I encounter, but to be honest, the most exciting thing in my life is coming to your tavern and discovering new drinks. Not a lot of songs you can write about that. I wouldn't mind a jingle. I'll think of one. Can I mention nymphs? I'd prefer if you didn't. Okay. Maybe one day I get to offer them their own jingle. In the meantime, can I offer you a drink? Yes, I would love a drink. The usual? Yes, please. That means a sunny breeze, in case you forgot. Thank you for the reminder, Fable. It's my favorite. It always makes me feel like a featherlight nymph floating in the waves of a sunny lake. Do you want to be with a nymph or be the nymph? Both? But mostly, I want a sunny breeze. Message received. Though, I was wondering, I've been coming to your tavern for so long and I still don't know anything about how you make your drinks. Could you show me? Yes. Really? Yes. What do I do? Do I need to put on an apron? Or summon a familiar? How do I summon a familiar? Just follow me. Welcome to my drink mixing nook. So this is what it looks like back here. Hello, Andu. Careful. I haven't fed him yet. Where do we start? Well, usually I start by figuring out what my patrons want. To make sure I don't forget what they ordered, I take notes in my journal. Let's have a look. Oh, you pinned my order. I did. If I want to look for specifics, I check my detailed notes. I do keep a log, just in case. When I'm sure I know what was asked of me, I browse my recipes. Can just freehand mix something to see what sticks? No, I like to mix and match for a more varied result, but the right balance is crucial, so I stick to my recipes. When I've settled on one, I can use the chalk to draw it on the board. What if you pick the wrong one? I can either erase it with the sponge or just pick a different recipe. My ingredients are stored in the 5 bottles on the right. There's dexterity, intelligence, defense, strength, and charisma. I think dexterity sounds the tastiest. I had a feeling you might say that. If I mess up or want to redo my drink for any other reason, I can simply feed my mistakes to Andu. Once I'm done, I press the bell to activate the primordial vortex. Actually, I don't need to bore you with the magic details. Just try making a drink. You've got this. Wow, it actually does teleport. Of course. What did you think was happening? I thought you were just very good at sleight of hand. I see. Well, give your creation a taste. That is delicious. I made that? You made that. Thank you for showing me the ropes. Thank you for your enthusiasm. These adventures you dream of, aren't you scared they'd be the end of you? Sometimes. But how would I know if I never tried? Do you actually want to try? Well, yes. I want to tell great stories, but never mind. How can I help you? A drink. For you? Great. What kind? Drinkable. Very specific, thank you. I'm on my way to a fight. Need to pay some debts. Give me something that will boost my defense, so I can claim victory. I'll see what I can find. This should taste like victory. How can I help you? A drink. For you? Great. What kind? Drinkable. Very specific, thank you. I'm on my way to a fight. Need to pay some debts. Give me something that will boost my defense, so I can claim victory. I'll see what I can find. This should taste like victory. Thanks. Almost washes away the memories of the banshee haunting the lonesome lagoon at night. And her bone-shattering song of sorrow. Almost. Enough to kick some ass, at least. Alright. A brooding type, I see. What are you thinking about, Fable? Nothing. Just dreams. Yours or someone else's? Mine. Other people seem to have the courage to follow theirs. Why can't I be like that? Isn't that up to you? I wish it was. My brother says my dreams are a fool's errand, that I'm running away from where I belong. Is that what he said? Yes, he said. We are rangers, Fable. We belong to the woods, like the stream that patters down the mountain. We keep the balance. It's what we're meant to do. And is that what you want to do? Yes. No, not really. I want to experience things outside the safe borders of the forest. I want to live a life so full of adventure, boredom will feel like bliss. I want to be brave and strong. And I want to sing songs about my adventures that make other people yearn for the same freedom. Of course, I could never leave the Ashen Grove behind forever. It is my home. But there's nothing wrong with going away from time to time, right? I mean, my family looks after the Grove. I think it'd be fine without me. Then you should do what your heart desires. Will it stop aching then? I think so, yes. But what if destiny never meant for me to leave? What if it did? That would be a dream come true. Be your own genie, Fable. Your adventures start with you. Thank you, Innkeeper. You really are the most exciting part of my day. With whom do I have the pleasure? The name's Carolyn. You can call me Care or Lynn. Couldn't care less. Nice to meet you, Lynn. What can I do for you? You do the thing with the quests, right? Yes. Do you want one? You can have a look at my notice board. No. I may have one for you, your notice board. Elaborate? Heard of a werewolf making trouble up in Tregarin? A werewolf? That's news to me. Listen, me too. Didn't see one in almost a decade, and that was far south in Aravet. Been wondering if it's the same one, just moving up, like a nomad. I thought the werewolf hype died together with that one romance novel. Ugh, you mean the one with the vampires? Think so? Nah. That just splits society into two camps, Team Werewolf or Team Vampire. Which one will you keep? Team Vampire. Ah, so you're into the fangs, ain't ya? An innkeep never tells? You little rascal. I like you. Likewise. What about you? Vampires? Why? The wolves are too close to my kin, and yeah, I'd rather stay away from them. Is that the reason why you don't want to take care of the werewolf yourself? Yes. No. I'm just afraid he might look a little too familiar to my Uncle Dragon. Would feel bad slaying that fella. You know? Hunched back, hairy, crooked teeth. Is it a werewolf or just Uncle Dragon? You couldn't tell. Want to avoid an awkward family reunion, you know? Alright. Anything else that might help others get done with it rather swiftly? Fetch. Pardon me? Should they get into a dangerous situation, they'll just have to start playing fetch. That works? On any dog, trust me. Good to know. Thanks, Carolyn. It's not that hard. Either Carolyn, Care, or Lynn. Gotcha, Lynn. Aye, Chief. You got a name, or is it just Innkeep? Just Innkeep for now. Playing hard to get, I see. Well, Innkeep, then before I venture on, you've got a drink for me. Of course. What would you like? I'll take something powerful. Something with a whole lot of strength. And don't you dare give me any of that watered down muck instead. A drink with 0 water, as requested. Not bad. Just what I was craving. Thanks. Where will you head from here? Perhaps back north, through the Ashen Grove. Got some business to clean up. What kind of business? My cousin claims her crops are being stolen by undead snails. I'd say she's hallucinating, but I did hear some folks complaining about an undead uptake up north, so might as well humor her. It's odd, ain't it? Resurrecting the dead. Think there's not much use digging up the past. The past haunts everyone willing to listen. Would you mind talking like a normal person? No? Then don't bother. This is my tavern, and I'm leaving it. If you find any more rumors or need aid, don't shy away from coming back. I'm more of a lone wolf. Don't do groups, but share. I'll be back for more work. I'll be waiting. Speaking of rumors, you know how to turn them into proper quests, right? Don't want them to go waste. It could use some help. Fine. I guess I've got a few minutes. Let me see your setup. This is where I sort all the rumors I've collected. I also keep them written down in my journal so I don't forget. Smart. Think the best next step would be sorting the fitting snippets onto your quest page. Just drag them over and make sure they're all for the same quest. Otherwise, you'll end up confusing adventurers. Once you're done, select that quill of yours and it'll be written up. Got it? Got it. Thank you for your help, Lynn. Put it on my tab. That's not how that works. Good night to you too. Alright, time to assemble a quest. 58th of the Wake. Act 1, The Wayfarer's Inn. 2, Prelude to Bravery. What do you have there, Fable? I found this on your notice board. It says a werewolf is terrorizing Trigarin. Is that true? It is indeed. Have you sent anyone after it yet? Not yet. What kind of hero are you, looking for? One who knows their way around difficult terrain, woods even, preferably one who is good with the bow. One that will tell me that they want the quest. I'm good with a bow. Yes, Fable. And I know my way around any woods. I know, Fable. And maybe I want that quest? Just maybe? No, not just maybe. Since yesterday, all I've been able to think about is you telling me to follow my heart. And then I step into your tavern and the quest practically jumps out at me. And I think, hey, there is a start for an adventure. It's near a forest. You know forests. You live in a forest. And werewolves are basically just normal wolves, but slightly scarier because they're also human. But you've talked to humans before. And you got silver arrows for your birthday last year, and they are just collecting dust in your room. And I thought I could ask you about if anyone had taken it yet. And then? I didn't think that far. I see. Or rather, I did, but then I thought, what if I take the quest? Then I have to go on the quest. And I have to fight the werewolf, or talk to the werewolf, which is worse. Because what if the werewolf doesn't like me? And what if when I try to shoot it with my silver arrow, I miss and shoot a tree instead, and then the tree will be mad at me? But it won't really matter because I'll be dead because of the werewolf. That took a quick turn. So maybe I should put the quest back. Fable. Yes? Do you want me to tell you to take that quest? Maybe? I can't make that decision for you. Neither can I. Whenever I have to make a difficult decision, I freeze in place. And suddenly, I'm unable to move until someone makes the decision for me. Like a slime. A frozen slime. A frozen slime that can't move. I've met slimes less anxious than you. You've met slimes? My tavern is open to everyone. Oh, right. What do slimes drink? Water. More slime. Bones. You sell bones? Only to slimes. Maybe you can add my bones to your menu soon? You'll just have to pick them up from the forest. I think I would have a hard time convincing a werewolf to give up free bones. Why are you so anxious, Fable? In general? About taking the quest. It seems to me that you want to take it, but you are trying to talk yourself out of it instead. Oh, well, I do want to go on that quest. It would make a good start for a song, right? The prelude of an epic. Fable, the protector of the woods, the world, the worms. The worms? They seem like they need protecting. But every time that I think about embarking on a quest, all I can think about are the ways in which it could go wrong. Is there something making you feel like you might fail? Aside from the bloodthirsty werewolf? We don't know what it is thirsty for. It might prefer orange juice. It might. Well, heroes have a history, right? Inspirational feats that they can look back on to define their bravery. I have the opposite of that. Great mistakes and epic regrets. Like the Mari Morgan incident. Or the reason why nobody wants to spend time with me. The Mari Morgan incident? Yes, the Mari Morgan incident. Didn't you hear of it? Oh, thanks, Spirit. Word didn't carry around. It was my very first adventure. The chance to finally get out of my daily grind. What happened. An adventuring party was on their way, passing through the Ashen Grove. They wanted guidance from a local ranger. A merchant up in Tregarin recommended me. I agreed to help, of course. My first adventure? Yay! I was so excited, but also very, very nervous. So, of course, it ought to go wrong. I really wanted to leave a good impression, but my bad luck got in the way of that. How did it go wrong? I felt their condescending looks on my back as I walked them through the woods. Of course, I don't know whether they actually looked, but my fear got hold of me and I led them astray. I blacked out, I think. I never got lost in the woods before, but I couldn't see well with the blood rushing in my ears and feeling dizzy. So, for some stupid reason, I led them along a path no one should ever pass. Past the riverbanks of the Shivermere, home to the Mari Morgan. You know of the Mari Morgan, yes? The wrathful spirit that is known to drown men? Not sure if she really differentiates between genders, though. For some stupid reason, I led them right into her arms. I got scared, and in the end, they had to save me. They fought the creature, and we finally found a way out when dawn broke. I couldn't look at them for the rest of the journey. I was too embarrassed to speak. I'm sure I'm still their laughingstock at every gathering. How am I ever supposed to set a foot in the adventuring world again? To be fair, it could have been worse. I could have led them right into the arms of the Wyvern Chimera residing in the Quag Mangrove. They say it has a taste for adventurers. But you didn't. But I didn't. You seem to be very insecure. I think that's the biggest problem. But how can I not be? All I ever do is fail. I don't think that's true. You've done many wonderful things, and the future is yet to be written. I don't think anyone really wants to read my story. I would. Personally, I am very much looking forward to hearing about your heroic ballads. So, you think I should go on that quest? Perhaps. Even after what you've just heard, I almost killed those adventurers. How am I supposed to save anyone? I'll probably just make it worse. Your absence will not make it better. You don't know that. Neither do you. All we do know is that without you, there will be one less person helping them. Someone else will do a better job. There might not be someone else. That would be horrible. Someone has to help those people. They can't just be abandoned. I agree. But what if I do make it worse? What if you make it better? What if you help them? Save them, even? So what if you make a mistake in the middle? Or if someone else comes along to give you a hand? 4 hands are better than 2. And who knows? You might even end up joining a party. Perfect heroes do not exist anyhow. Just ones that try, even if they are scared. What if they are terrified? Then they should try terrified. At least that means they're trying, instead of running away. Would you prefer to run? No. I think I only run because I'm better at it. Then again, I never really try anything else. Maybe I should not decide to walk away before I even tried the other path. And in a case of emergency, better heroes can always save me again. Or you them. One day, maybe. First, I'm going to save all these villagers, so that at least some of us don't have to be afraid anymore. No werewolf shall stand a chance against me, right? You will do great. I just know it. But before you go, would you like a drink to aid you on your journey? Yes, please. I even got new infusions in this morning, so I'm well prepared to help. That sounds wonderful. What do you have? I've got some Thunder Sage, which is said to enchant words. With its magic, you should be able to inspire others and boost their abilities through your support. And then I have a couple golden feathers. They are extremely rare, but once in your possession, they can grant you haste. Briefly, the expiration date is a bit unpredictable. How did you get those? Your luck. All right then, keep your secrets. So, considering all of that, do you have something that can make me move more nimble and quiet so that the werewolf won't see me coming? Something with a lot of dexterity. If I want to fight, I'm going to need that surprise round advantage, so maybe haste would be helpful too. Or maybe instead, something that can help me with diplomacy? Perhaps it is just a hungry lost lichen after all, and all it needs is a pep talk and a hug. Maybe we can even be friends, but I would need something with a lot of charisma for that, and some additional inspiration. I will leave the choice up to you. Just make sure you don't pick a random recipe. Please keep it to one of the abilities I asked for. Remember, your choice can influence my fate. It could change the entire outcome of this quest. But, of course, I'm sure you are already aware. Sorry for backseat mixing. Now that I have access to infusions, I have to be careful of how they interact with the other ingredients. They might alter the drink in a way where I have to use different ingredients than usual. I should make sure to keep an eye on the coaster shape so that I can mix the correct recipe. Maybe I should even try adding an infusion first and adjust the drink from there. Let's give it a try. Thank you. I feel much better. Braver. Farming. No, wait, that sounds like I'm tending to a farm. There are a lot of farmers in Tregarin. and I'm going to protect them all. Or talk to them until they feel better. I'm sure they could need that too. I just hope I don't have to fight anyone. No, I will be okay. Because of your help, I'll be able to talk myself out of any situation. Thank you again. I think this drink gave me the courage I needed. I believe in you, Fable. Thank you. I will try to follow your example. Follow your heart instead. I think that one's a better roadmap. I can't wait to tell you about my victory. Best of luck. Best of patience. I hope Fable will be alright. I wonder which path their fate took. Maybe a zesty one? I hope I could help. "59th of the Wake, Act 1, The Wayfarer's Inn. 3. New friends and former enemies." "Innkeep, a drink for me and this lanky fella." "It is good to see you too, Lynn." She meant to say please. "Welcome back, Fable. You look alive." "Thank you. I am." "That seems like a given." "I'm just happy to see them doing well and with a friend." "We ain't friends." "We're not?" "So you didn't join a party?" "No." "Oh. Then what is the drink about?" "They may be very annoying, but they did just help me solve a family feud of 10 years. So, I do owe them some of your dishwater at least." "Family feud?" "I wouldn't call it a feud, more of a miscommunication." "No, it was a feud. I was gonna kill him." "I thought that was a joke." "It wasn't." "Oh." "But no one died." "No. Elfie was here able to prevent it." "It's Fable." "Whatever. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest?" "It does. I stopped her from killing the werewolf." "Elaborate, please." "I was going to kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get?" "A lot?" "I think they're confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did. Kind of." "I also remember you saying you did not want the quest, Lynn." "I didn't. Was there by chance." "They were both stealing sheep." "Wasn't." "Sure was." "Adventuring pay ain't what it once was." "So you steal other people's sheep?" "Mind your own business." "How does any of this lead to a successful quest?" "Well, after leaving your tavern, I traveled swiftly through the Ashen Grove. I reached the borders of Tragarin right after dawn. The vineyards stretched far ahead, and I saw the one or other farm nestled in between. Truly idyllic, at least before sunset." "Do you have trouble in the dark?" "Emotionally?" "Visually?" "A little. I mean, I reckon I can still see more than a human could, but darkness is darkness, and I am no owl." "Thanks, Spirit. You're already weird enough." "Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing, so I hear a creaking fence and footsteps that are failing at keeping it quiet." "Your ears are failing at being small." So I sneak closer and I see a werewolf-esque shape picking up a tiny sheep. I was petting it. Thinking she was going to steal it, I summoned all my courage and I stepped out of the shadows and said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put down the sheep." I didn't expect her to be in full senses, of course, but I wanted to be polite, and I thought it might confuse her. It did confuse me, all right. Who the heck sees a werewolf and the first thing they do is greet them? A polite person? Or an insane person? Well, it worked, didn't it? Because I ain't a werewolf. He wasn't that different. But I'm skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, the werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with a, "What?" Surprised my plan worked, I said again, "Please put down the sheep." Because stealing sheep isn't very nice. And she asked who I was. No, I asked, "Who are you, a god?" I was about to introduce myself when we heard this blood-curdling growl. Please, it was barely a bark. It made the blood freeze in my veins. Hearing heavy footsteps, I barely dared to turn around. You turned immediately. And when I did, I stared into the twisted face of a werewolf. Yellow, gleaming eyes. Gleaming with jaundice. Sharp teeth, giant claws. He'd look like he wanted to eat me right up. He did. But before I could beg for mercy, something rushed past me and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Carolyn and the werewolf were on the ground fighting tooth and nail. And the sheep? Obviously, I set it down before. So you came to Fable's aid? No, that ain't it. I noticed the wolf's flannel rags. They were blue, checkered, had an uneven print. Just like the kind of stuff Uncle Dragon likes to wear. That old fucker. Hey, why can't I say that? Fucker. What the fuck? Youth protection. The age rating assessment is quite harsh. Fuck. Ugh. Anyway, it was dressed like Uncle Dragon, smelled like Uncle Dragon, fought like him too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know? Haven't seen that old man in years. The only way I can bring him up these days is by joking. Because of the feud? Yes. He used to be my favorite uncle, but then he changed. Became irritable and angry, distant. Fought a lot with Uncle Fedor. Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually, he just left, ran away, without a word. Left us and Uncle Fedor behind to worry senseless. Until we found a letter saying not to look for him and all the savings missing. Swore I was gonna kill him if I ever saw him again. So that's why you wanted to talk it out with your fists? I tried, but Elfie stopped me. I'm glad they did. How did you figure that out? Well, she was yelling at him. I tried to get their attention by telling them to stop, but they wouldn't listen, so it got them to stop for long enough to get them to listen to me. I threatened that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. I would have never done that, of course, but they must have believed me because they actually stopped to listen. Looked mighty scary there, little guy. Thank you. I set them down and made sure to be between them so that if they wanted to fight, they would have to go through me. That sounds dangerous. Was. Wouldn't have stopped for them. What? You're the size of a stick. You think you can stop two angry wolves? Oh, well, anyway. I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on. And that's how I found out about Mr. Degran and Carolyn and the disagreement. Feud. The feud, sure. Turns out that after Mr. Degran was turned, he was too ashamed to admit it. And that ended up hurting all the people he cared about. That's no excuse, of course. No, it ain't. If we had known, we'd have helped him best we could. At the very least, would have built a sturdy shed with scratch-proof walls for full moons. He didn't expect that, though. So he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone, all of that. But that only made it worse. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so he just focused on the whole werewolf thing and not any of the human things. That's something he and Carolyn have in common. What? The stubbornness and unwillingness to ask for help. But they had to talk about it. The silent resentment wasn't good for either of them. And you got them to do that? The little stick is strangely persuasive. Something about their honesty is frustratingly inspiring. Had us talking about it before I even realized I didn't want to. Maybe because you did want to. Maybe. How did it go? Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first and apologize to Uncle Fedor and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Guess a hug did feel better than a greatsword in his gut. Wonderful. Of course, there is still the problem with the whole werewolf thing. Idiot got so obsessed with the cure, he can still barely control himself. We helped him realize that even a cure couldn't change what he's done. That he has to accept he's different now. Learn how to live again. Of course, it isn't easy. No change ever is. I learned that from you. But we have a group of werewolves living near our settlement. A small community that enjoys the company of our warm trees. They taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and the secret of the moon signs. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit. It's real. You're a crescent moose. We introduced Mr. Dragon to them, and they promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy. That sounds great. It is. It's a happy ending. I wouldn't call it an end, rather the beginning of something new. So, the end of an adventure is just the beginning of a new one? Exactly. I like that. So, after your heroic therapy session, you two decided to grab a drink together? Got offered to spend the day at the settlement. But they don't serve anything strong enough for my tastes. Plus, Elfie was dying to go back here. Was talking about how they need to update you on everything non-stop. Would think they live here or something. I had to report back about the quest. I'm glad you did. So, a drink? What can I offer you, Lynn? Surprise me with something that fits my strength and brawn. Surprise. Not bad. You should do this professionally. I'll think about it. Fable, what about you? Do you have something that will calm me down? Maybe even bring some of my agility back? I would like to feel dexterous again. That was a stressful day, night, morning sequence of events. Here you go. Thank you. Wow, this is perfect. You look tired. Have you considered sleep? Because it tastes so bad? So do you. Maybe sleep is a good idea. Carolyn, do you have a place to sleep? I can sleep anywhere. It's a talent. It's depressing. I have a free room. You can stay there. I'll count it as payment for your help with the quest. Fine. Later, Elfie. See you later. Are you heading home, Fable? Not yet, if that's okay. I think I would like to stay here for a little longer. Calm down a bit before I check on all of my plants. Unless you need to close up. Stay, please. Did you enjoy your first quest? I did. It was scary and different than I expected, but I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming. Have you considered that you weren't pretending? I hope this isn't going to be my last adventure. I think this is just the beginning. That would be nice. You think I'm going to save the world one day? That is a very tall ask. Ha, you're right. I'm not cut out for that. I didn't say that. I would just prefer if the world did not end. Right. Let's hope not. I like this world, and a calamity like that would be disastrous. Even if it would make for a good song. Or for a sad one. Or both. Thank you for believing in me, Innkeeper. Always. I can't wait to hear about your next quest. Me neither. Good day, little green motto. Good day, Mr. Vampire. And good day to you too, illustrious innkeeper. Good evening, vampire. That's the best you can do? I'm running out of lines. Ah, so you're another one of those empty babblers. Pardon me? See, I told you. Empty? Yes, you were very right indeed. They do look delicious. That's not what I said. Either way, what a snack. Thank you, though I should let you know I am not on the menu. What a great day of woe. First my cape and now this? You have a cape? The most exquisite one in all of Asteria. Words would not be able to do justice to its beauty. Have you seen it, by the way? No, that's why we are here. Perhaps the slime ate your cape? That little creature doesn't seem like it would do such a horrible thing. Does it have a name? I never asked. Probably not. Maybe you should sometime. Speak of names, what may yours be, little leafling? That's Fable, the great up-and-coming hero from the Ashen Grove. Just Fable is fine. How about you, Mr. Vampire? Me? What other vampires are there in this room? Hopefully none, but you can never know for sure. My name is Sir Alphonse Louis Frederic Duquette de Lasson. It's long for Kyle. Kyle? Kyle. May I ask for your name as well, miss? You may stop calling me miss. Sorry. Call me Rhea instead. Rhea Frostgrip. Nice to meet you, Rhea Frostgrip. Kyle and unnamed slime. Indeed. Welcome to my tavern. Now that we are past the pleasantries, would you like to tell me more about that cape? It's some sort of invisibility cape, if any of his blabbering is to be believed. That sounds very magical. It is, but he seems to have lost it. I have? Ye have. What a great tragedy! My cape of invisibility is of utter importance. If I do not get it back, I am afraid I shall perish immediately. That sounds very magical. Dearest innkeeper, dearest Fable, I must retrieve my cape. Could you please help me? I think I know just what to do. Dear player, you've reached the end of the Tavern Talk demo. It's been a pleasure to take you on this little journey through the Wayfarer's Inn. I hope you enjoyed the little insight into the adventures to come. Farewell, and see you next time.